So the Australian esports scene is booming right now, and I've been to a few tournaments recently, so I've decided to do a bit of a series on influencers, esports players and other gamers in the scene to get an inside scoop on what it's like to be part of the Australian scene. Next to me here on the couch, for the first time in the New Game Plus studio, is Christian, and his gamer tag is ROF, and he plays Street Fighter. And recently we've been to EVO Japan together, and Battle Arena Melbourne 10, who, if you've seen my amazing segment, I filmed that all weekend. That was solid. But I wanted to get the behind the scenes information about what it's like to play professionally in Australia against like really famous players in Street Fighter.
Thank you.
Welcome. What's it like being in the studio for the first time?
It's really bright.
Very bright.
Got to get used to the lighting, but I think I'll manage. I think I'll pull through and I'll give you a good interview.
Thank you. It's cozy, very nice. I can't wait to pick your brain. We've known each other for a while now and travelled to Japan together. And I guess I wanted to know a little bit about your history playing the game and how long you've been playing Street Fighter for. And what was the moment you seriously decided to pursue it?
Yeah, so I guess the first game that I played in Street Fighter series was Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha.
Amazing.
So that was the one on the PlayStation 1. So I got that when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and then bought it, got on PlayStation 1, played, had no idea what I was doing.
Yep.
Just mashing, getting blisters on my thumbs.
The gateway drug, PlayStation.
Just enjoying the heck out of it, and then yeah, that's what got me started. Okay,
and I guess that's many moons ago now, and you've played all the other Street Fighter games through the evolution, and just now we're here.
Yes.
What other characters did you take a liking to over time?
So in Alpha, I think it was Guile, just because of his theme song in that game.
Yes.
That was awesome. The next game, surprisingly, in the Street Fighter series that I played was 4. So after that, I completely forgot about Street Fighter, didn't even realize it existed until like 2010.
Yeah, took a break.
And then I got addicted to Jury.
Excellent.
Wonderful
character.
She's a bae. Yeah,
very
she's
gorgeous.
They ruined her now.
Yeah.
But
they've ruined a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's Birdie.
Yeah. So talk to me about that. I mean, it's a very different character to all those you've played before. What drew you to him to pursue him seriously?
Well, first I actually played Mika. I tried to give her a shot. Didn't really fit my mold, and then I saw one Japanese player, Crusher, who he goes by the name of Crusher, played Daigo, and he beat Daigo in a set 10-0.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I want to do this with this character, because it looks stupid. It looks hilarious.
That chain and the donuts and stuff?
Yeah.
But wasn't he, when he first came out, he was OP?
I don't think...
so was Mika. I think a lot of them were at first.
And I don't really think anybody really complained about Birdie compared to like Mika, Chun-Li, Ryu, you know, those top 3 characters. Birdie was really just like not really talked about, not really had any attention because nobody played him as well.
Yeah, okay. So no one really knew how to play against him.
Yeah, and I did, and then on the other side of that as well, nobody really knew how to play him.
Okay.
Because there weren't really a lot of like expert and top level players who were able to, I guess, expand on the character and utilize its strengths. Yeah.
Do you study people playing your character so you can better match up when you play in tourneys and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. So like probably one of the few people I watch is Mena. I try to use my play style and mix that with his as well, because I feel like ours are very similar, very aggressive.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I guess, other Birdie players in Australia who don't really do anything and just like to hold down back in the corner.
Oh, wait, okay. So who's your worst character matchup then?
The worst character matchup I'd say is probably going to be Guile. It's very hard to pick between Minat and Guile, but I think it's Guile.
Minat's the one with the beautiful ball.
That's right.
She's gorgeous.
The annoying ball, not the beautiful ball. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Guile. He just throws sonic booms, and the recovery on that is so quick. He's plus on block if you block it. So Birdie just moves so slow, a slow jump. So he only really gets a chance until he gets V-trigger.
What about Bison? You played against Som on the weekend at Gfinity in Sydney, which is one of the massive Australian esports majors, which is like really exciting. You seem to be coming second to Som a lot recently. How does that feel?
Well, I think we're really even on the scores.
Okay.
I beat him at PAX. I took him out of PAX, which was, I guess, what
Love
sort of is, yeah. Hey man, it happens. Sorry, man. Which I guess sort of sparked his sort of like way of trying to beat me, which I understand completely. You know, like I just came in and I just pretty much was losing to him 2-0 down. He was on match point.
Yeah.
And I reverse 3-0'd him. So I can't blame him for the salt that he did have on that day.
I believe it.
I'm glad you did have a bit of salt in you. But yeah, he sort of sparked that interest in him to like learn how to play against me. So he got me back at SXC, which was very close. It was like last round as well, final game 2. And then Cyber Gamer, I got him back.
Yeah.
And then he got me back in the grand final. So it's honestly back and forth between us two.
Love that. I think someone's always in those top 3 finals, like all the time.
Well, yeah, he's got the, I think 10 years experience under his belt. I've only been in this for like 9 months. So when I think about how long I've been in it compared to him, I'm really happy with where I am at the moment.
Do you analyze frame data?
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
like you need to know when to press buttons, when not to press buttons. So, but sometimes you have to press buttons when you shouldn't press buttons.
Okay.
That's the mix-up. That's like the read you have to have on your opponent.
Yeah, always be one step ahead kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. You travel like so much, it's ridiculous. Even if it's just like around Australia, but you also go international as well. How do Australian majors compare to interstate tourneys? International tourneys.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Gosh.
I was going to say OHN and BAV. No.
Yeah.
Well,
You went to see? Did you go to see him?
no, I did not. No.
Okay.
I actually haven't really performed a lot overseas.
Okay.
The only time I did was in Evo Japan. So I can only go off that experience, but I guess the local competition is good for the locals here because the internationals come
It's like
down.
next level having international competition. They're like a totally different breed here, I reckon.
Yeah, it's good for the scene to grow.
Yeah.
The differences between local and international is just that internationally there's going to be harder players to play against. So be prepared and be prepared to lose because players of that caliber don't really exist in Australia, but we'll get there eventually, I'm sure of it.
I think we're on the up. Like honestly, now that Twitch is putting a lot of money behind the local community and everything too, I think it's going to be massive in a couple of years' time.
I agree.
If not now.
Yeah, I'm going to make that happen for Street Fighter.
How do you do you analyze your own personal performance like after a game or? What's the process?
Yeah, you really need to understand what went wrong.
Okay.
Did
you have to watch it back or?
Unfortunately, yes. I don't really like to watch the matches I lose in, but you have to.
Okay.
It gives you a bad taste in your mouth, but it's something you got to do. It has to happen. There's no other way you're going to learn because then you can go, oh, at this point I didn't do this, or at this point I wasn't doing that. Why? Oh, because I just wasn't thinking about doing it. So you got to start to think on the fly, adapt, and utilize that.
Love that. I guess one big reason why I've invited you here today is to really give our audience and our viewers a little bit of an insight about what it's like to be part of an esports team. And I guess I really want to know what kind of advice you'd give people that are aspiring to be part of a crew like that. I mean, did you get poached or were you scouted or what was the process and how does someone else get there?
If I was to give tips or advice to people, just find a game that you love and then get really good at it.
Okay.
If you want to be a esports player, it's just a simple matter of fact that get good.
Yeah, get good.
Because then nobody's going to really notice your talent in the game.
Okay.
So for me, it all started at PAX, where I was actually, I think the only person I lost to was BK.
BK
So
yeah.
I annihilated everyone, and then everybody was like, wow, who's this guy, And then I was like, it's me, RF, don't forget.
That's it, but also your jersey's bright yellow and orange and you wear these awesome sunnies.
That was after PAX.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I mean, due to PAX.
Yeah, and now you have a brand image to uphold.
Yeah. People, masterminds, thank you, shout out to masterminds. They recognized my talent and then they picked me up. So like I said, just find a game that you love.
Yeah.
Don't try and play a game that you don't like. So for example, if you see Fortnite where it's so much money, but if you don't really enjoy it, you're not really going to get to that spot that you need to be.
Cool.
So, number one, find a game that you love. Number two, just keep practicing and don't give up.
Cool. Yeah. I love that because it's what they say, if you do a job that you love, you're not really working ever. So I guess I can relate to that.
For sure.
What's it like being signed to both Masterminds and Order Army? I mean, there's two teams here. How do you fulfill your commitments, and what kind of commitments do you have?
Well, being signed to two organizations, it's not really that different to being signed to one.
How do you get to pick who you compete for each tournament?
Well, it's agreed upon when we have our discussions. So when I spoke with Order, we basically agreed upon when I'd be playing for them and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, it's for Gfinity. It's listed in my Twitter bio as playing for Order Army during Gfinity.
Perfect.
So yeah, shout outs to Jake as well. Thank you, Jake. Man, shout outs to everybody. Gosh, what am I? I'm just gonna go
That's
shout
it.
out.
Go
Shout
nuts.
out Veal. Nah.
Yeah,
But yeah, like Jake's a really good guy. He made sure like we're getting looked after during the whole like Gfinity tournament and the whole process of getting signed with them. So it's really cool. Like wearing one jersey, then wearing the other, and exposing both of those brands to like a wider audience. Growing yourself and growing those organizations. It's an awesome thing to be a part of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I guess just to conclude this amazing interview, I want to know what's up next for you, and how can people find you on socials and everything like that?
What's next is winning Gfinity. I'm going to be winning that with my mastermind duo teammate Travis Styles, who's also signed with Order.
Nice one.
So we got that in the bag. Guys, watch it.
Nailed it.
Watch the stomp. It's going to be really, really cruisy.
Amazing.
You can find me on Twitter at MGCROF. So that's my Twitter handle. You might see a few nice little videos that Sly Will from New Zealand has posted with our journey at Mastermind. So yeah, that's my goal. It's just essentially putting Australia on the map in terms of Street Fighter V competitiveness. That's always been my #1 goal, showcasing to the world that we can actually compete with top level players.
I actually couldn't agree more. If Battle Arena Melbourne is anything to go by, it's only going to get bigger and better from here. But I just want to say thanks so much for making the trip to come down to the studios,
No
and
problem.
thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.